read Living with Others from Unique Learning. And this is a section that was about moving in to your own apartment or perhaps a group home. In this case, it's a living with other people. We live with other people when we live at home with our families. But when you move out onto your own into an apartment, whether it's independently or a supported apartment, sometimes you might have a roommate. Or if you move into a group home, you will have staff there and you'll also have quite a few roommates. So this is called living with others. Some people choose to move in with others. They may live with others in a home, care center, group home, or apartment. Living with others can be fun. Living with others can be hard. And everybody knows that from living with other people. Sometimes you don't always get along with everybody all the time, especially when you live with them. When living with others, you have to share. You must do your share of the chores. Take turns watching TV or playing games. Use some of the rooms, furniture, and appliances, and share costs and split bills. So sometimes you have to share the living room TV. If it's the only TV in the apartment or the group home, you have to share it and take turns watching TV. Same thing goes with appliances like laundry machines or dryers. You might have a specific day that you do your laundry on, and then your roommate or roommates would do their laundry on different days. And I'm sure there would be a calendar set up in order for you to know which day is yours. And you have to do chores. If you have a roommate, you have to make sure that you're cleaning up after yourself and doing your best to be clean. And your roommate should also be doing the same thing. This way you're respecting each other's use of common space. Common space are rooms that you both would be using or everyone uses, like the bathroom, the shower, the living room, and more importantly, the kitchen. The kitchen is very important to keep clean. You're responsible to take care of your own bedroom, because if you end up having food in your room and a mouse situation, guess what? They're in the whole apartment. So your roommate might not be so happy. So making sure you're taking turns and doing your fair share of the chores. When living with others, you have to clean up after yourself. You must clean up your clutter and keep your clutter picked up. Wash your dishes and clean up after you use the bathroom. I happened to say that a little bit earlier. To make sure you're cleaning up after yourself in areas that you and your roommates all use. And the same thing goes with you at home. I'm sure that you're all using the same bathroom, you're all using the same kitchen, the same living room. Make sure that you're cleaning up after yourself, because it's helpful, when you clean up after yourself. This way mom or dad or your sisters or your aunt or your grandmother, they're not always having to pick up after you. Because if you make a mess, whose responsibility is it to pick it up? It's your responsibility. Same thing with your bedroom. Whose responsibility is it to clean your bedroom? It's your responsibility. So you're an adult and you have to do adult things. And that's just keeping it tidy and being hygienic, keeping things clean. And lastly, on page 3 here, when living with others, you have to respect them and their things. You must ask before you take or use anything. That's not yours. Keep the volume on the TV and music down. Make a plan before inviting people over, and be quiet when they are resting. So you just can't have a big party whenever you feel like it. You should probably ask your roommates if it's okay if you have a few people over. If you say, hey, is it all right if I have my mom and dad over? They'll probably say sure, but they may not say yes if you say, I want to have 50 people over for a party. That's a big difference. So you have to make sure that you're working things out and communicating with your roommate. Also, making sure you're keeping the TV at a decent volume, your radio at a decent volume. You can always put on headphones. Bluetooth is a wonderful thing. No wires are attached, so you could probably use it with your television as well as your iPods, iPads, in order to listen to your music. And don't go into your roommates' bedrooms. Just like you wouldn't go in your sister or brother's bedrooms because they would get upset. You have to make sure that you ask before you use someone else's things. You have to respect their property. So, would you be a good roommate? Do you think if you moved out of your apartment or your house and into your own place, into a group home or your own supportive apartment, do you think that you would be a good roommate and be able to get along with them? Put it in the comments section down below. I'd like to know if you think you would be a good roommate with somebody else. Some people don't like to live with other people, and that's totally fine too. You might just want to say, I'd like to just live independently on my own, and say I'd be a terrible roommate. It's okay, but I'd be interested to know what you think about being somebody's roommate.